We're getting a whole bunch of extremely exciting Day 1 releases coming to Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass in April, from bluesy Bayou Tales to the return of some real-time tactics veterans. So why don't we take a look at everything that's on the way to Game Pass? And first off, why don't we all just enjoy a little quick roundup of the new games that our Game Pass standard buddies will be gaining access to on April 3rd. First off, All You Need Is Help is a quirky co-op puzzle game where you play as big, fuzzy Tetris blocks and then try to complete all sorts of extremely inelegant tasks together. And then Wargroove 2 is a turn-based tactics game with an art style and a cast of characters that are both delightfully colourful. And Still Wakes the Deep is a first-person psychological horror game that's set on an oil rig where the player has to contend with supernatural entities, but even worse than that, Scottish weather. Ugh. The second episode of our documentary series The Method actually focused on how the world of this game was built, and you can watch that one in the card just up there.
Henry, wait. Before you go on, it was just announced around all the way over here to tell you that GTA 5, yes, Grand Theft Auto 5 is returning to Game Pass Standard and Game Pass Ultimate. Plus, the shiny GTA 5 Enhanced is the version coming to PC Game Pass too. Oh, you can tell all the comments to stop saying it on every single video. It's coming back on April 15th. Oh. Anyway, back to you, Henry. I need to lie down. GTA 5. Woo! We're so back.
But for the juicy stuff, arriving on the 8th, the creators of Contrast and We Happy Few have cooked up a tasty new Xbox-exclusive third-person adventure called South of Midnight. When a hurricane rips through her hometown, Hazel is thrown into a strange and magical world. Rather than the realm of cowardly lions and yellow brick roads, Hazel actually finds herself in a southern gothic land of giant catfish and ghostly haints. This place has got a lot of problems too, so it's up to Hazel to put them right, using her newfound magical powers to battle some spirits and soothe others. The story in this one looks really deep, and the gothic folklore art style is absolutely dazzling, and between the bluesy soundtrack, the stop-motion art style, and that delicious southern flavour, well, South of Midnight is shaping up to be one of 2025's must-play titles. In fact, we already got to go hands-on with it ahead of time, so why don't you check out that video for a more in-depth look. But if you're in the mood to raise some hell and crawl some dungeons, then you are in luck, because Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls Ultimate Evil Edition is coming to Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass on the 8th. And this is unquestionably the definitive version of the third entry in Blizzard's iconic action RPG series. And that means you get all 5 demon-infested acts of the base game, plus all the stuff that the Reaper of Souls expansion added, which includes a shiny new class, by the way, called the Crusader. He's very holy, or at least he will be once those demons have had a go at him. And of course, you can also find Diablo 4 sitting comfortably in the Game Pass library, complete with all the great new content that it's added since launch. And at this point, not having a membership is actually starting to sound pretty hellish. Did you hear that alarm? Yeah, it means the Commandos, the granddaddies of the whole real-time tactics genre, are back. And also that their most recent mission has gone horribly wrong. Arriving day 1 onto Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass on April 9th, Commandos Origins takes us back to the early days of this legendary 6-man squad. You're going to be leading them through a series of dangerous missions all across the world, taking advantage of each commando's unique skill set to get the job done. There are loads of different ways to approach each mission too, so expect loads of replayability and some very fun trial and error. And while it does retain its grizzled boomer charms, Commandos Origins has given us a modern makeover with intuitive controls that will allow you to execute your strategies with the precision of, well, a military operation. This one I'm especially excited for. Blueprints is a puzzle strategy game that just defies genres, descriptions, and the most basic tenets of household architecture. It all goes down inside a very large, very spooky mansion where you'll be trying to find the elusive Room 46, which would be super easy if the rooms just didn't keep rearranging themselves at the end of every day. So annoying. But it does actually create a rogue-like game loop where you'll find yourself picking a new path each day, encountering new rooms, uncovering new secrets, and solving new puzzles each time. Blueprints is the sort of game that you can just listen to someone talk about for ages, but you probably won't really get it until you've played it for yourself, which you can do from April 10th when it arrives day 1 onto Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass. Hunt Showdown 1896 is currently available to console-owning Game Pass members, and the good news for fans of this monster hunting FPS is that they'll soon have a lot more folks to play with when it comes to PC Game Pass on the 15th. Of course, that also means they'll have a whole lot more people trying to snag that precious bounty from them. Yeah, can't have it all. It's set in a swamp full of deadly monsters and people who like to kill deadly monsters, and this is an innovative extraction shooter that has players competing to slay the bad guy and then make it out with their prize. Of course, there's only one bounty to be claimed and no rule that says they have to play nice while you fight over it, so get nasty. And then April's going to kick off with a whole lot of bangs thanks to the Ultimate Edition of Borderlands 3, hitting Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass on the 3rd. This is the third entry in the rootinest, tootinest, lootinest, shootinest FPS series in town, and it introduces 4 new Vault Hunters for you to play as, each with their own special abilities and a pair of sinister new villains for you to train your sights on. Oh, and also guns. So many more guns, but you kind of knew that already. Borderlands 3 is great anywhere, but on Xbox Series X, you actually get to enjoy its freaky wastelands in stunning 4K 60, as well as the option to play in local split screen with up to 3 other players, while the Ultimate Edition also throws in a whole mess of bonus content just to round things off. And honestly, with the 4th game currently in the works, this is probably the perfect time to start familiarizing yourself with the absolutely bonkers, bullet-riddled world of Borderlands. So go on then, what's your flavour for Game Pass this month? What are you going to play first? Hit the comments to let me know, and I'll have more for you to add to the backlog in the next drop. See you in the next one. Bye!